everybody, it's Pam and Bill at Country Living Newbie Custom Decor in Spring Hill, Tennessee. Welcome to Sunday Night Live on the Dixie Belle Paint page. We are very excited to be here as always. We missed everybody last week on July 4th, so I hope everyone had a wonderful Independence Day. Definitely feeling the heat here in Middle Tennessee. It's been brutal. So tonight, project dresser. Oh boy, who's had a project piece, right? We have had this desk, I don't even know how long. I don't even remember where we got it. Estate sale. I don't even know, but...
Estate sale in a two-story house.
Was this the one in the attic?
It wasn't in the attic. It was on the two-story.
Attic?
We got two pieces that we had to carry downstairs in a very narrow stairway.
So yeah, estate sales are always cool to find.
3 years ago.
Cool pieces. Yeah, I mean, it's old. It's been sitting in our garage. Anyway, we pulled it out, and it needs a lot of TLC. But we are using Dixie Belle's Serenity from their Silk Mineral Paint, the all-in-one mineral paint line, and it is going to turn it into a thing of beauty. So, we'll talk a little bit about the piece. We'll give you some background on it and some of the things that we had to do to get it ready to be painted. And while we're doing that, please say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what you're working on. If you have questions, my husband Bill is behind the camera. Say hi to Bill. And he's got his glasses, which is good, so he can read your comments. Now, they go by pretty fast, so if he doesn't catch it right away, we'll go back and answer those questions tonight or first thing in the morning.
And I'll try to say hi to everybody as soon as Pam stops talking. So for all those who I miss, which will be everybody.
Hello. I don't stop talking very much, obviously. So, okay.
That's a talent.
It is a talent.
Yeah.
Okay, so this desk is actually pretty cool. It's got a leather inlay in the top, so there's 3 sections that are leather, and I'm still undecided what we're going to do on the top. We'll bring this down in a little bit, but I went ahead and put slick stick on 2 of the leather panels. I've never painted over leather with silk before, so I just wasn't sure how it was going to do over the leather, so I slick sticked it just to be sure. But I left this so you all could see kind of what it looks like. And we'll bring this down so you can see the top a little bit better after we paint the drawers. But still kind of undecided. I do want kind of a clean look on this. I'm not going for a lot of detail. I just kind of want it one color. We'll do the top the same as everything. I may decoupage or maybe put a little transfer on one of these panels. I'm not really sure yet. But today is really just to show you guys the silk mineral paint and the amazing coverage that it has. And this is going to be a bleeder, right? If you were using the chalk paint, you would want to use Boss with this. I'm going to really put silk to the test on this, and so far it's doing really well. I have 1 coat on these. I see, and you're not going to see this, but there's a little tiny bit coming through here. I'm not worried at all about that. I've done some bleeders with silk before, and sometimes you'll see it come through initially, but like anything that's a primer, you really got to give it overnight for the primer to set in. And same thing with the sealer, right? There's a built-in sealer in this, and you kind of want all that to set in overnight before it really does its magic. So we're going to hit this with a 2nd coat, and I'm pretty sure the bleeding that's happening here, which is minimal, is going to be non-existent. So with silk, as always, before you paint anything with the chalk paint or silk, make sure you clean it really well with your White Lightning. I scrubbed this down really well. I rinsed it with a 50-50 mix of vinegar and water, and this is what I was getting. All right, so I mean it's gross, and there's probably 3 or 4 more rags back there. So it was really coming off quite a bit. So that's how you kind of know something's going to be a bleeder, right? It just keeps coming back, nasty rags like that. I did go ahead and sand some of the spots, and you always want to give a scuff sand with silk, but this has a lot of dings and deep scratches in it. So you're going to see in some spots I had to sand it pretty far down. And I generally don't like to do that because that only enhances the fact that it might bleed. But some of it was just in really bad shape. Up here too, it had that alligator kind of skin. You know, it was like all crepey and.
Yeah, the varnish was just deteriorating.
It was ugh, yuck. So
we got a question. Why vinegar and water?
I mean, you could rinse White Lightning off with water for some reason. I don't know. I just kind of like the vinegar and water. It makes me feel like it's rinsed off a little bit better. You don't need to do that. It's just something I've kind of picked up and started doing. Doesn't smell great, but I don't know. I feel like it just does a little more kind of after cleaning, but not necessary. Okay, so we're going to be using. So we kind of talked about the prep. You know, with silk, you just make sure you clean, rinse, and scuff sand, and then get all that sanding dust off, and then you're ready to paint. There is a little bit of repair on this that we're going to do. So I'm going to show you. This is a wood veneer. So this is wood, but it's a veneer, and it's chipped in just 2 little spots here, which actually, for as old as this is, that's pretty good as far as needing repair. But I'm going to take a little bit of Dixie Belle's mud, and this is in the brown. There's brown, white, and black. But I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger, and I'm going to push it in here in these 2 little grooves. And I'm going to leave it on pretty heavy. And we're going to let it dry. And it's on heavy, so I'm not going to do anything till tomorrow night. But I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to sand it down. Do you want to show this part down here that you did? Where we had to fill in?
Sure.
So Bill had to fill in this bottom piece here with mud. And it's pretty dry, so we're gonna go over it. Hopefully it's dry enough.
The mud, including just about any wood filler that you use, has a tendency to shrink. So if it weren't for the fact that we have to paint this tonight, I probably would put another. It'll be fine. I'd probably put another dab of mud in there, and then sand it down. But it'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how far we get. Okay.
We have Cheryl Crabtree Elmore Pennock.
Hi, Cheryl.
First of all, from now on, you're just Cheryl.
You can just say Cheryl.
Yeah, from now on, she's just Cheryl. She asks dimensions, and she's from Memphis.
Dimensions of the desk?
I think so. You want to can we get back with her on that one?
Yeah, I'll put those in the comments, Cheryl. All right, so always when you open up your silk, give it a good stir. It's very creamy, right? It's different consistency than the chalk paint. Do not use water. You don't need to use water with silk. It's recommended that you don't, unless you're spraying, and then you could use a little bit. But you want to stir it, and the reason you want to stir it is there's a built-in primer and top coat in here. And so you want to get all of those parts consistent, right? You don't want primer going to the bottom if it's heavier, or you want to get all of those good parts that make silk so wonderful consistent. So give it a good stir.
I don't care what kind of paint or poly you're using, you got to stir it.
You should, yeah. Okay, so then I just put some in a little cup. I'm not going to paint right from the jar because Billy yells at me when I do that. So we're just using a little dish here.
I don't yell at you.
You lecture.
I mock you.
Much better. I think I might prefer that you yell at me than mock me. I don't know. All right, so this is Serenity in the silk line, okay? We will do 2 coats on this and still have probably a third of this left. It goes very far. The brushes that I use with silk are the synthetic brushes. And this is just Pam's favorite and personal opinion, the oval medium is my absolute favorite to use with silk. The minis are good too, but I don't know what it is about the oval medium. It's like magic with silk. So I usually use this for all my silk.
Deb Oliver says she paints from the jar all the time.
Deb, no.
Deb, put in the comments why you shouldn't do that.
No. Okay, so no sooner do I say that, I'm going to use a different brush, right? So the same bristles on this round small, but we're going to be doing the trim on these drawers, so it's always good to have the right size brush for what you're doing, right? So we're going to pull these out, we're going to do the drawers, one coat, and then we'll probably bring it down and start the top. So with silk, you're going to find you load your brush up a little bit more than you do with the chalk paint, the chalk mineral paint. Right? Because you're not using water with silk. So you need a little more on your brush. And it self-levels like a dream.
In fact, Deb, if you have a blackboard at home, you need to write 100 times why you should never paint from a jar.
Okay. Don't overwork the silk. I'm just going over each section very lightly just to smooth out my brush strokes.
That inside corner there.
But the coverage is amazing with this. The whites will take a little more, but the mid-tone and the deeper colors cover generally with one coat. But because there's a built-in top coat and primer in there, you should do 2 coats. Even if you get good coverage with one, I recommend doing 2 coats.
That edge.
What? I'm not going to paint the edges right now.
No, okay.
Yeah, so I'm not going to paint the edges because I'm going to tape them off where the, what's the word I'm looking for? What's that called? The joint.
The joint?
The dovetails.
Dovetails.
Yeah, so I'm going to tape those off and paint a line there because you're going to see some of that with these drawers. But I'm not going to do that tonight.
Got some folks from Australia watching.
Hey guys, how's everybody? What's everybody working on? How's the summer going? Feels like it's almost over already.
We got Judy says, hi from Buffalo, New York. Can you shake the silk paint as well as stir? Or do you get bubbles? I never shake my paints.
You can shake, I mean, you can shake it, and I usually do before I open it. And no, you don't get, that's not like a top coat where you get a lot of bubbles. You don't get bubbles, but always stir it. You know, don't just shake.
Yeah, especially a full jar. A full jar, you're not going to get the movement of the paint inside the jar as you shake it. And you'll still get some of those solids that will stay on the bottom.
And that's a good question because of the built-in top coat. You think, you know, maybe there would be some more bubbles in it, but I don't notice any bubbles.
Dixie Belle says, she's replying to Diane. She says, we recommend painting 1 coat, then waiting 4 hours before applying the 2nd coat. This will help prevent bleed through.
Yeah. Thank you, Dixie Belle.
Now for the purposes of time.
Well, we're only going to do 1 coat today anyway.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Amber Demakowitz.
You made it, Amber.
She says, that's what she said. She says, I made it late, but made it.
Amber messaged me before, but she might be a little late.
Annette Spangler from North Carolina.
Hi, Annette.
That's where my mom lives.
Got some new names I'm hearing. Love it. So Bill and I, we own Country Living Newbie Custom Decor, so feel free to jump over to our page when this is done and follow along with us there.
Alicia Martinez says, hi from Cali.
Hey, that's our doggy's name.
Yeah, well, different spelling. Which
Girl.
that song, remember that song, Going Back to Cali?
Yeah.
I don't think that
Girl,
applies to anyone anymore. Most people,
you're all coming here.
they're all
Come see
coming to
us.
Tennessee.
Yeah. Got a lot of California folks coming. Every day in our store. All right.
Grapevine Decor, Antiques, and more.
Hey, guys.
Also from North Carolina.
Yes. Grimsland, North Carolina. I can't remember. Oh, I just hit my elbow on there.
How unusual.
All right. I have to.
Ashley Osborne working on a set of dining room chairs, Midnight Sky on the chair, and No Pain Gel Stain in espresso on the cane backs.
Lovely. Aren't chairs fun? Chairs are so much fun. Am I like good? I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't go over there because I'm right-handed.
I guess I just got to move everything.
So you just move everything.
Yeah. Amber's asking, what brush you using?
This is the round small. It's perfect for drawers like this. I generally only use the oval medium whenever possible for silk. Not that you can't use the mini or any of the other synthetics. The Scarlet's great with silk. But the oval medium, to me, it's the most versatile brush, I think. You just can do anything with it. And for some reason, it works marvelous with silk.
Deborah Payne Holden asking, is silk a chalk paint, and what color is this?
It's a mineral paint, so it's an acrylic-based paint. And this is Serenity. It's an all-in-one, so it's got a built-in blocking primer and a built-in sealer. So after a cleaning, a scuff sand, you are ready to go. 2 coats, you're done.
Janet McPherson Harrell
Hey, Janet.
saying hi from Rhine, Georgia.
Yes.
Is that not Rheingold, Georgia?
No,
Okay.
no. Hi, Janet. My friend.
Elena Tate Cassidy, first timer from Myrtle Beach.
Yay! We love first timers.
That's where my folks used to, well, my folks used to live in Calabash, which was, I think, just a little bit north of Myrtle Beach.
So first time on the watching the Dixie Belle Live, first time with us. Tell us all about it. We have the word newbie in our name, so we love new folks.
Ellie's Lily Pad is where
Yeah.
Janet McPherson's
Yes.
at.
Yep, Janet's a Dixie Belle retailer.
Michelle Wilkes watching, saying
Hey,
hi.
Michelle. How are you, girl? Look how good this paint goes on. I mean, it's a dream, guys. It is a dream.
Ashley Ziegler asking, have you used any grays in the silk line?
Yes. We use Baja Gray.
Is there anything that looks like gravel road?
Let me finish this drawer. I'll get the color chart out. I have it right here. There's nothing that's really like gravel road. Black Sands is kind of a charcoaly color, but it's a little darker. Baja Gray is more probably like manatee gray-ish. It's a little lighter. I was actually almost going to use Black Sands on the top of this, but I changed my mind. So that's Black Sand. So it's probably the closest you're going to get.
The middle one?
Yeah. Closest you're going to get to gravel road.
Diane Galvin saying hi from Boston.
Diane.
From Boston.
Boston. Thanks for joining, guys.
Gina Bryan Higgins, first timer watching you guys from McMinnville.
Oh, wow. Hey. We're neighbors.
Yeah, well, about an hour and 15 minutes away, but
Well, when we go to North Georgia.
when we go to North Georgia, we always pass
Yeah.
McMinnville.
Some cute
I had a
shops
guy
there.
in respiratory when I worked at Smyrna Hospital.
Oh,
He was
did
from
you?
McMinnville. Yeah.
Wow.
Cheryl Shepherd.
Hey, Cheryl. Thanks for joining us on a Sunday night. We appreciate it.
Debbie German Reeves, or German Reeves. I have an extremely soiled and smelly china cabinet made from cedar. Can I use a blocker under silk to ensure that the smell doesn't seep out?
Yes.
Sure can.
Yes. You definitely can. All right, so we're not doing that drawer.
The other thing you can do is baking soda. Just open up a couple things of baking soda. Put it in the cabinet, close the doors and the drawers. Wait a few weeks. That will not get out all the smell, but it will actually pull a lot of it out. And then you can use your boss.
We don't have weeks. We don't have patience like that.
I'm just saying that'll make things easier.
If you have weeks to wait, you could do that. Now, I don't know. And maybe Dixie Belle can answer. It is a blocking primer in silk. So I don't know if that's just for like tannins and bleed through, or is that also like for odors? So maybe you wouldn't need anything else. I don't know. I haven't painted anything smelly with silk yet. Believe it or not, this does not smell. You can believe that. So we'll do, I'm taking the drawers out because we'll do the frame. You know what, I'd like to maybe do the side to show them like a big panel.
Okay. Bridget Dorst, hi from Pennsylvania. My first time watching.
Hey, welcome. Love that, guys. Thank you. What do you think? Should
I try not to.
Let's, you know what, while I have this brush, let me do some of this in here.
Me just work camera.
And I will have to cut in a little bit on this because these are one of those where the drawer goes in and you can see where the stain goes. That's generally where you need to paint. If you have to cut in a little bit. So it's a good guide.
Susan Waters, first time watching you guys from the Central Coast, NSW, Australia.
Hey, got a lot of folks from
Got a
Australia.
lot of folks from Australia.
I wonder if it's our time slot because, I don't know, we just seem to have a lot.
Yeah, I think
on
it's like
Sundays.
morning over there, like 10 in the morning, something like that. Dixie Belle says, you can mix silk paints together to make your own custom colors. But they would have to be silk paints. They would all have to be silk paints.
Right. Oh,
you wouldn't want to mix
yeah.
a chalk paint
Right.
with a silk paint.
Yeah, so that's probably in response to the question about maybe the gravel road.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a great brush for this kind of thing because it just goes right into that little groove. We get a lot of questions about brushes. You know, what's the best brush? There's a brush for everything. If you're going to start, you know, you need one brush that you're going to start with. And I may differ than some people. I would say get the oval mini. I mean the oval medium. Oval mini. Don't get the oval mini because that doesn't even exist. To me, it's the most versatile brush. Most people will say get the mini angled, but I feel like this brush can act like almost any other brush. It's amazing. We're going to use it in a minute.
Just a tip to anybody who wants to mix colors to make a color. Make sure you mix enough. Because if you just do a small, you know, let's say you only do 4 ounces or 6 ounces thinking it'll be enough, and you find out that it's not, you will end up, it'll almost be impossible to get it to match.
Yeah, unless you're doing like by weight or, you know, measurement.
Well, even then, because what you end up doing is, you know, maybe I need to add a little bit more of this color, maybe I need to add a little bit more of that color, and then you lose track.
Oopsie.
Janet Harold says, Bill, have you ever heard of spraying the piece with vodka to remove odors?
Ooh.
We can never keep vodka in the house with Pam around, so.
Stop that. Stop that.
I've heard vodka actually will take odors away, but I've never used it before, so I really can't say for sure whether it works or not.
Awful. That's not true, guys. That is not true.
It's not true, no.
I'm going to leave this for now because there's mud on there, and I want it to dry a little bit more.
Oh, Cheryl earlier says, don't know where the dimensions came from.
Oh. I was like, that's kind of an odd question, but okay.
She says, where are you in Tennessee? My first time on your show.
Oh. Oh, I was going to let you speak.
I was shocked, so. I'm still shocked. You still want me to say something?
Yes,
all right. We are in Spring Hill, Tennessee. We are about 45 minutes or so south of Nashville.
We are in like the fastest growing city in the country right now. It's crazy. And it's not a big city by any means.
Population-wise, it is.
Yeah.
All right, we got a question from Diane Herndon.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm reading that right.
You just say first names, honestly.
Diane, well, some people like their last names. It's like, ooh, they're saying my name.
No, it's not like that. But go ahead.
Since silk has a top coat, can you also use gator hide on top if the piece is subject to have water on it?
Yes. Yep. You sure can. Yeah, just keep in mind, gator hide has a little more of a sheen than silk. So it'll look a little bit different sheen-wise if you just do the top. Which I don't think it's a huge deal, but just be aware.
Gina Higgins asking, have you used the Best Dang brush yet?
Oh.
I just saw it on a video yesterday.
I got 4 of them, girl. Yes. Don't use that with silk, though. Okay, use that for blending, stenciling, but it's not the right brush to use with silk. But that brush is synthetic and natural bristle, and you can't beat it. I mean, it's the best dang brush. It really is. And and I think it's only around $25.
Did you come up with that all by yourself?
I did. I came up with it, and Dixie Belle stole it from me.
She said, Dixie Belle originally just called it Ralph.
What?
And they couldn't come up with any other name. So Pam says, we should call this the Best Dang brush because it really is the Best Dang brush. And then they changed its name.
You can use it for wax too. Totally forgot. Yeah, because I don't do a lot of waxing, but it's great for waxing big pieces. You'll get done in no time, and it has the least amount of shed that I have ever seen from a wax brush.
That brush story was completely fabricated, by the way. All right, so we got Lori Lawrence asking, how do you minimize brush strokes with silk? I've heard some people have trouble with this, and I haven't tried it yet.
I gotta be, I'm being totally honest. I have not had a problem with brush strokes with silk. Make sure you prep the right way. Make sure you use a good synthetic brush. Make sure you wait. You should wait, I mean, it's a minimum of 2 hours. If you can wait longer in between, I would. I would say wait a minimum of 4 hours if you can. If you can wait overnight, even better, but if not, that's okay. And I load my brush up a lot more with silk than I do with the chalk paint. It's a very good self-leveling paint. Sometimes there's grain in the wood or some kind of texture in the surface that is going to cause brush strokes, which it's probably not the brush stroke, it's actually the grain or the surface of the wood producing that. But honestly, I have not had a problem. I have one cedar chest that I sanded the top on and painted, and you can see some of the grain from the wood, but they're not brush strokes. So I think as long as you kind of follow the recommendations, you should be fine.
Dixie Belle commented and said, use an ample amount of paint and don't overwork it.
Yeah, great point.
The don't overworking it can't be stressed enough.
Huge. Huge.
Get it on, walk away.
Yeah, if you miss a spot, go back later. This paint dries very fast on the top, but underneath it takes a little bit longer, which is why you need to wait a little longer in between coats than you would with the chalk paint.
It seems to dry less fast than the chalk paint, though.
The surface dries fast, I've noticed. And it sounds weird to say load your brush, right? Because if you're used to painting with the chalk mineral paint, you don't load your brush a lot. But with this, and you'll see when I go to the big brush now, we're gonna load it up. We're gonna load it up.
So we probably should have painted the inside portion of the
What?
Of the drawers, the openings.
We're going to.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not going to do all that cutting in tonight.
Okay.
It takes forever. But yeah, I will be painting in here because you'll see that.
Maybe let's just tell everybody that.
Yes.
Yeah, because these drawers are, if they fit inside the face frame, you have to do the inside portion of the drawer.
So I want to do this flat side so folks can see like how to do.
I had a question earlier and I forgot who asked, but can you use a roller with silk?
If you do, get like a high density roller. I know folks have done it. I have not. Did I roll with silk?
High density foam?
Yes.
Or a nap roller?
Yes. Foam.
Okay.
No, I don't think I've ever rolled silk. I rolled the chalk paint. Yeah, I mean, I think you can. Honestly, if anyone's done it, chime in. I've never done it.
Got another question from Gina. Do you sand in between coats?
No. No, it is so smooth, this paint.
I just sat down. You want me to help you?
How do I get so they can see here?
Why don't you pull that out?
So I want to show you guys some big long strokes with silk. So this is the oval medium, and I generally use this for everything, but these were so thin I went to the smaller brush. So I'm going to load my brush up, and I'm going to make sure there's paint all in there. Okay, there's a fair amount of paint on there, right? You wouldn't do that with the chalk paint. And if you go, it's okay to go sideways, but when you're done, make sure you go in one direction.
Without overworking it.
Right. Because so now I'm kind of getting to the point, I can feel it. And this wood is so dry, so I can feel the brush dragging a little bit. You want to be careful, because if I keep doing this, that's where I'm going to start getting those brush strokes, and they're going to be hard to get out. Probably should have got more paint.
And again, this is just our first coat, so we don't have to get full coverage.
Now I am working pretty quickly here, and it's already starting to dry. This is actually faster than normal. The wood is so dry. I mean, I can feel it like sucking in the paint. Which is kind of a weird feeling. I wasn't really expecting that over here, but so be it. And every time I keep going over this bottom part, I just do a quick once over. Just try to keep your last stroke going in one direction while the paint is still wet enough.
So Amber asks, if you do get brush stroked, can you use, and there it goes, can you use a Dixie sponge to sand out a little once completely dry?
Yeah. I find brush strokes once they're there, for me anyway, they're hard to get rid of. Like, I mean, do you have any? I mean, you can. Sanding will help. But once they're there, they're just kind of there. So the best thing to do is try to avoid them. Which is, seriously, with this paint, it's not hard.
I don't get brush strokes when I paint, so.
And why is that?
No particular reason.
Oh, because you spray.
All right, I
He
spray.
sprays.
All right, you don't
sprays.
have to
That's
tell
why.
everybody my secret. Jeez.
Like, you better tell them. You better fess up. Fess up there. Probably should put
So,
this up on a block.
Even with if I spray a poly, I do use, I do sand in between coats of poly. So you can sand in between coats of paint after it's completely dry. But you may not always, you may not have to. Most people don't have to.
Yeah,
And
if
chances are brush strokes are only seen by
you.
the person who created the brush stroke.
All right, so you can see how fast this is drying. If I was to go back over this now, it would be a disaster. So don't do that. Even though I know I missed some spots, there's a little bit of heavy paint down here. I promise this will self-level out. And then when I go to do my second coat, it'll be fine. And I went up and...
This will what?
Huh?
This will what? Self level out?
Yes. You gotta do the hand thing with it though. Look at my nails almost match my...
Close. Yeah.
I'm gonna hit this with the second coat. I'm not gonna actually do this right now because this is wet. If I go over it, I'm gonna start messing with my paint there. But this I'm gonna do, I went this way on this and this way on the bottom part. Just because this was so short.
Connie Smith Oliver saying hi from Wacko. Probably Waco.
Connie.
Probably Waco,
Wacko.
but because it's Connie, we'll say Wacko.
Okay.
Deborah Moss. Eileen Johnson.
So a couple strokes back and forth, and then we're done. We're working. We're not going to do this part. All right. Now, let's, how are we doing on time? Can we do the top?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It is 7:40.
Dang. All right, let's drop this down and just show the top. With the leather on it.
You want to take it off the...
Yeah. So we'll drop it down. I'll show you the top. We'll do two parts. We'll paint over the two leather inserts on the outside because we're not really sure what we're going to do on the top yet.
You gotta back that piece up.
Oh, I gotta have my paint on something too. You can't get back. Bill has to go around the store to get back. Hang on. All right. That's funny. That's funny.
All right, what'd I miss?
What'd you miss? Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to get a little more paint in here because I don't want to run out. So I am going to slick stick, not tonight, because I wanted you guys to see the leather, but I am going to slick stick this. So I'm not going to paint this part tonight. Again, I'm not really sure how silk does over leather, so I didn't want to take any chances. So I went ahead and put some slick stick on it.
Yeah, that's just what Amber was asking. She says, so you can paint over leather with silk?
Yes!
What?
And it's a rough leather. I may not even have needed slick stick, but I just wasn't sure.
Maybe Dixie Belle should answer that question.
Yeah.
I mean, has anyone ever, do we need to slick stick leather?
I know people have done like fabric with silk too. This desk is so...
Can you paint silk fabric with silk? Oh my God.
I know you guys can't see this part, but I want to make sure I get the back. So I will have to paint the whole back of this desk because it's one of those with the nice back and the trims back there.
Dixie Belle says, when in doubt, use slick stick.
Yeah, I would just, probably not a bad decision to use it. So I'm going to go around the edges, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but I have a lot of paint on my brush.
Ample.
Ample. Yeah.
You also have an ample amount on your shirt.
Hey, that's how we roll.
You're brushing, actually.
Love this color. I'm thinking about maybe doing the blue and yellow floral decoupage paper on it on the top. I'm not sure because there's a lot of white in that. And I don't know if I want a lot of white to be showing through. So we'll see. Undecided at the moment.
So
I think...
I thought we had decided to use the other color
What?
on the top.
No, I think I was going to do the whole thing one color.
Okay. Once again, out of the loop. Bill, what color should I use? What color should we use? I think we should use to make the top a different color. Great idea. Let's use this color. Sounds good.
We have fun. So I'm just going around this because I'm going to slick stick it later. But let's get this painted here. I don't know if I should. I'm struggling on which way to put my brush strokes on this one. I think I'm going to go back and forth like this. So look at the coverage over a bright white slick stick. Is that crazy? It's crazy. Crazy good.
That's what came to my mind.
Crazy? Look at that though, I'm serious. That's over bright white slick stick. One coat.
Absolutely crazy.
I know we're getting close on time, so we'll finish
Yeah, we should probably finish up.
Finish this last one.
Are we moving on to our page?
You want to do a little? Okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah, guys, we'll finish this little patch here, and then if you are in the mood for some more painting, jump on over to our page at Country Living Newbie, and we'll do a little bit more over there. I may slick stick this. So if you haven't seen slick stick or you have questions about it. And there's a big scratch in the leather here.
Casey Harker says, I feel like the conversations you two have between yourselves are the same conversations I have with myself when painting. You may need to see someone.
At least you listen to yourself, probably. All right.
Like if you convinced yourself to paint 2 colors, but then you didn't tell yourself that you're only going to paint 1 color.
What? I didn't even follow that. I'm like lost. All right. So.
Yes, Amber, we're going to go to our page. Probably not for long, maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah, we'll just kind of catch up over there.
Yeah.
All right, so we're getting there, guys. Well, once we finish everything, we always post a finished product on Chalk Mineral Paint Enthusiast page and our own page. But if you have questions or suggestions on what to do to the top, let us know, because I'm still kind of not sure. And we will see you again next Sunday. We're here every Sunday night, 7 p.m. Central, on the Dixie Belle page. And we appreciate you guys being here. We'll answer any questions in the comments tonight or in the morning. All right, guys, we'll see you over on our page. Couple minutes. Bye now.